Hi, my name is Sammy from My Screen to Yours. In today's video, I'll be doing the mid-year freakout tag, which is a video that I did last year around this time. It's a tag that I've seen go around on booktube. I don't know if that's where it originated from, but I adapted it last year to talk about dramas instead, and this year I'll be doing the same. There is no June recap this month because when you're watching this, I will be in Asia, so I don't have time to film that, but next month I'll be doing a June and July recap. But to talk a bit about all the things that I've watched so far this year, let's get into this tag. Last year I talked about just all the dramas that I'd watched so far that year, but then this year I'm deciding just to focus on 2026 releases. First question is, how many dramas have I watched so far? Okay, this question I did just include everything that I watched, and I've watched a total of 15 dramas. 11 of them are C-dramas, 3 of them are K-dramas, and 1 of them is a Thai drama, and this is only including the dramas that I fully completed. My favorite drama that I've watched this year is Love Between Lines, which is one of the earlier ones that I watched this year. I believe it came out like January or February, but I was so obsessed with this. I had been waiting for it to release beforehand because I saw so many behind the scenes videos, and I've started really loving Lu Yuxiao, the actress, ever since I watched Love in the Clouds last year, and so I was really excited and did not disappoint. Their chemistry, the just build up of their romance, and just seeing where it went, the costuming when they were playing the virtual game, I just really loved their scenes together. They also have a lot of kiss scenes, so that was really good also. Like literally waking up in the morning each day and watching the 2 new episodes was like the highlight of my day. Next question is a new release that I want to watch but haven't gotten around to yet, and that one is a K-drama, Climax. Off the top of my head, because I didn't write it down, it's not a political drama, but I think it's like a drama about these people who want to gain power and the things they do to do so. I do plan on starting this around the time that I go on vacation, so hopefully I'll be done by the next recap that you see. Best 2026 release, and I want to put this as like more of a objectively good one, like not my favorite. And I think objectively, I picked 1 K-drama and 1 C-drama. For the K-drama, I picked The Art of Sarah, which is, I believe it was on Netflix. It was sort of like a thriller about this mysterious woman who seems to have a lot of different identities. Like everyone thinks she's this different person. No one really knows who she is, but she's being investigated by this detective. They built the tension really well, and it always kept you interested, just trying to figure out who this woman is, what her motives are. It's not that long. If that sounds interesting, then I would definitely recommend checking it out. And for a C-drama, I mean, it's kind of hard to pick because I feel like a lot of them are great and kind of just depends what you like. I'm just picking A Splendid Match, which I literally just finished. I really thought the writing was good, how they wrote the family drama, political drama, the romance, everything like that, and also the characters. There were some characters that kind of subvert your expectations, I guess, so I appreciated that, and I just really liked the couple. I think there's a lot to like in that drama. Next question is most anticipated release for the second half of the year. I'm gonna focus on C-dramas. They don't really confirm any dates until like days before or a week before or whatnot, so I'm just going off what's rumored to come out later this year, and I have quite a few that I'm very excited for. They are all romance, and the common theme is that I'm excited for these because they star one of my favorite actresses. Starting off with the actress Zhang Jingyi. She has quite a few projects coming out. Love for You and Chasing Dreams. Love for You is a modern romance, although I do think it takes place maybe in the 90s or something. Don't quote me on that. I don't know the exact plot. It is a second chance romance. The leads, they kind of like grew up together and they were like supportive of each other when they were younger, but then something happens and they separate, but they meet again as adults. And I have said recently that I don't really care about second chance romance, and I was thinking that maybe it's not that I don't like second chance romance, it's just that I wasn't interested in like the actors in previous projects, because I don't care that this is second chance romance. I'm very excited because I like the actor and the actress. So, and then also Chasing Dreams, which is a historical romance. romance. I don't remember anything about the plot except that I think she's like blind or something. But yeah, they have done some sort of promotion for these two recently, so I'm assuming they will be coming out soon. Next, because Lu Yuxiao, who I also love, is the female lead, I'm very excited for When I Meet the Moon, which is, I believe, the same author created Hidden Love and The First Frost. So if you love those, I feel like you'll probably like this one. I enjoyed Hidden Love, dropped The First Frost, but I am very excited to watch this one. I watched the trailer and it looks very good. They look very cute together. The height difference, ooh, yeah. And the last one, because I love the actress Zhou Ye, is Spring of the Blade. This one, I'm sorry, I don't know the plot at all. I can't remember, but it is a historical romance. Let me know what you're excited for coming out later this year. I would love to know, as well as any of the other answers to any of these questions. Next one is biggest disappointment. This one, the answer was obvious, and that is Girl from Nowhere, the reset. I explained a lot about my reasons for why this was disappointing because I really love the original Girl from Nowhere. This is like a reboot of the original that came out like a few years ago with a different lead. That is one of my favorite shows, and the lead character, Nando, is one of my favorite characters on screen. And so this, I didn't hate it, but it was definitely not close to the quality and how I felt about the original, and hence that is why it is a big disappointment. Biggest surprise is Veil of Shadows. I don't really gravitate towards fantasy, although I feel like I am definitely opening up to the genre after watching a few good ones. There was something about it that was like appealing when I watched the trailer, and so I ended up starting it and I was hooked because I watched it, I binged it pretty quickly. It just visually looks great. I didn't always know what was going on, although they do explain it in the end. If you're confused, just keep going. But I really liked just the characters, the dynamic, the relationship, what was going on. There's always something happening. I really enjoyed it a lot more than I expected to. Most overrated. This one was kind of hard to pick, but I guess I would go with Can This Love Be Translated? Again, it was a bit hard because I don't actually know if it's like overrated. Like, do people love this? I don't really know. I feel like people have mixed feelings. There's probably enough people that enjoy it, I guess, that I would pick this one. Also because most of the shows that I watch I do like a lot, so I can't really say that they're overrated. But anyways, I just thought the romance was lacking and like the story was lacking. Their romance just like developed a lot more in the time and episodes given. Favorite new actor and actress, as in new that I haven't seen them before, and that is Sha and Ren Mi from A Splendid Match. I hadn't seen any of their projects before. I didn't even know they existed until like a month ago. I really loved them both as a couple and just in general as actors on A Splendid Match, so I'm very excited to see what they do in the future. I would definitely be on board if they were a couple again in the future, but we'll see. Newest fictional crush. This one I really couldn't pick between two, and that is Xiao Zhiyu from Love Between Lines, aka the male lead architect CEO. Looked really good. I first saw the actor last year when I watched, I can't remember what it's called, this drama on screen. Like, obviously he's still good looking, but he wasn't really doing it for me. But him in this drama, ooh, especially with the glasses, yeah, he looks fine in this drama. And then also Chen Yangyun from A Splendid Match, which I also talked about recently, that I think he's really hot. They're both really hot, so that's my new fictional crush. My newest favorite character, I picked Hu Xiu, female lead from Love Between Lines. I just thought she was like smart and lovable, a great female protagonist. I loved watching her and her relationship with the male lead and how she supports him and stuff. Yeah, no complaints there. My biggest ship, this was not hard actually. Number one, Love Between Lines, because it's like maybe my favorite modern romance drama. I don't know. Is that a big claim? Maybe, but with how much I absolutely loved watching it, I think it's a fair thing to say. And then second place would definitely be the couple in A Splendid Match. Although now that I like really think about it, it's like not that close, although I do love both couples, but the romance and Love Between Lines, there's like so much more of it. A show that made you cry. So I think I've probably teared up or cried like a little at a bunch of shows, but none really made me like cry. So I don't really have an answer for this. Roman Empire scene that I can't stop thinking about. So this one, there also wasn't necessarily one that really like stood out to me. I would say it's definitely one of the kiss scenes in Love Between Lines, and there's like 27 to pick from. There isn't one specific one that I'm like, yes, that scene. But some of the ones that do stand out more to me would be the first time that they kiss, their like reunion kiss, and she's like sitting on top of his car. Also the one where he was like in his car and she's outside. Best soundtrack, I feel like none so far have really stood out to me that I remember. There are a few songs like here and there from watching a show that I liked, but I like can't remember any of them. Next recommendation that you've probably never heard of, whether it's a 2026 release or not, I feel like they're all like pretty popular, so I also don't really have an answer for this one. Next, what shows do you need to watch by the end of the year? Most of the shows that I really want to watch I have started and finished already, but some of the other releases from this year that I'm interested in are Bloody Flower, which is a thriller, pretty sure it's like a serial killer Korean drama, and then Climax, which I mentioned earlier, and lastly, maybe Love Beyond the Grave, which is a fantasy, historical, C-drama, romance. I don't feel like as strongly about this one. This one's more one that I would be curious to check out. If I had to pick one from last year, this is also one that I don't feel like that strongly about, but I would pick Glory, which is another historical romance. Last question is, when I did last year's tag, shows that I mentioned wanting to watch, and did I actually end up watching them? So last year I mentioned wanting to watch Hidden Love and Nirvana and Fire, and I did watch both last year, which I have discussed at some point on my channel. That was all the questions on this tag. I will tag No Sleep for Dramas to do this tag if you want to, and anyone else who's interested. I'd love to know your answers for any of these questions. What is your favorite 2026 release so far this year? And what are you excited to watch coming up later this year? Those are the top questions I'm curious about. But as always, leave all your thoughts down below. I love reading all your comments about dramas and discussing them with you. I would love if you subscribe to join my small drama community, and I'll see you in my next video.